my name is Stephanie and I'm with House of Grits. I'm super excited that you've joined me today. I have a really fun project and I hope you enjoy it. Today's project will be some upcycled wooden kitchen utensils that I found while I was out thrifting. The first thing I did was pick the colors that I was going to use. I really wanted some bright, fun colors. So I chose some DIY paint colors. I think I mixed a few colors so that I could have colors just to my liking. Then I decided to take some Iron Orchid design stamps and some air dry clay and molds and decorate the wooden utensils. On this first spoon, I think this color was a custom color, the pink. I took some white IOD ink and used a stamp from the Shade and Song stamp set. You have to remember when stamping on a surface that has been sealed that it might be a little bit slippery. So you have to really hold your stamp on there and press and try not to move it. I smudged a little bit, but I think it turned out okay. On my second stamp, I ended up deciding to wipe it off, which mostly it came off, and because the stamp is kind of busy, it didn't show any smudges underneath that didn't actually come off. I continued to stamp all the way down the handle of that particular spoon, and then I made sure to clean my ink off of the stamp with a wet wipe. You definitely want to do that before you put your stamps up so that when you get them back out, it's a lot easier to go ahead and do your next project without having to clean them. Then I took my heat tool and heated it up to try to dry the ink so that I can move on to the next part of the project. I set that aside and moved on to the clay and the mold for this particular spoon. I chose to use the Sparrow's Nest mold, which is one of my favorite molds. It's actually the first one I ever purchased. And the DOS clay, it's air dry clay. And you'll see me kind of soften it up with my fingers and then immediately go into putting it into the mold. I had already dusted the molds with cornstarch and just kind of worked the clay down in there. The cornstarch actually helps it to release easier whenever you're ready to take out the casting from the mold. So you're seeing me kind of work it around and just sort of go back and fill a little bit more in the finer areas, and you'll see that the little branch kind of broke off, which is easy to kind of reattach once you're mounting it onto the surface that you're going to glue it on. So I actually take one of my little Cricut tools, and those things are handy for a lot of different things. And then I use the Titebond Quick and Thick to glue it onto the spoon. Kind of being sure to get it all the way into the finer areas, and you do have to be careful because those little details can break off, but they are easy to sort of reposition back on there, and you'll just see me do that and kind of move it around to fit onto the spoon. Then I reattach the bottom of that branch. Titebond Quick and Thick is a really good glue to use for gluing the clay castings onto the surfaces that you're going to leave them on. It kind of starts to set up pretty quickly, and it has a really strong hold, so that's what I choose to use for all of these projects. But if you don't have this particular glue, you could use something like Aleene's tacky glue. It works pretty well too. So I continue to clean up the little edges. Sometimes you just get parts of the clay that you should have been able to get off, and just getting those off to kind of clean it up helps make the shape just more defined. Then I set it aside to dry. Next, you'll see me working on the yellow spoon. I painted this spoon DIY's paint color Liquid Sunshine, and I love this color. It's a bright and fun yellow. Next, I take out the IOD letterpress stamps and the Laurel mold. I'm gonna stamp the word Queen in black ink on the handle and use the mold to cast the bee. So I take the IOD black permanent ink and load up the stamp, and then I clean the excess ink off of the carrier sheet and I place it on the spoon. And you'll see there's an empty spot because of course there's only one E, and I'll have to go back and put the additional E in there, but I spaced it out, leaving space for the second letter. And as I'm pressing, I'm making sure to hold it down with one hand so that I don't move it around and smudge the ink. Looks like I didn't quite get the end stamped perfectly. Of course, it's never going to be perfect, but I reposition it and push it down again to make sure I got the letter pushed down enough and made contact properly. Then I take the second E and put it where I need it to be, position it right just so I can see how much space to leave in between it, and then I ink it up and stamp it as well. Then I take some cornstarch and make sure to dust the mold. This is the Laurel mold, and I use it quite a bit because I love the bees in it, and then the laurel leaves are really pretty to use on different things as well. So I dust the bee and the small crown, and then I take out some clay. It's the DOS air dry clay, and I work it just a couple of seconds and push it into the mold. And I'm just trying to make sure that I clean up the edges. These molds have what they call a micro rim around it, and it helps you kind of smush out the excess so that you can get clean edges. And then I turn it over and carefully let gravity help me get the castings out. And then I try to position it on the spoon where I want it, and I quickly realize that the crown is going to be too big for the little bee. So I try a couple little options of reforming it a little bit, and then just decide it's not going to fit on there. So I pull out the primitive mold, which is actually also one of my favorites. There's a couple that I use a lot, and the primitive mold is one of them. I always love the little flowers and birds that are on here. So I form some clay into the little flower and then make a couple of these small leaves and pull them out and then position them where I want them. I try a couple of ways to position the flower, but determine that I want the leaves and the flower underneath the bee. Then I get out my Titebond glue and put some on the back of it so that I can start gluing the pieces onto the spoon. I spread the glue out, making sure to get it close enough to the edges, but not so much that the glue smushes out. And when that does happen, I wipe it off. I push the bead down, making sure there's contact, but also making sure I don't push too hard because I'll lose the details of the clay, considering it's not dry yet. So I add the leaves and then the flower to the bottom of the bee. I use my tool again and clean up some spots, and then I put it aside to dry. Then I do the same process to several of the other utensils using different molds and working the designs to make them really fun. You can see next that I did quite a few different molds to get a variety, and then I took some DIY paint and used lots of colors to paint the details of all of the different shapes. I then used clear wax and put a coat of clear wax over all of the spoons, and then I actually took white wax and put a coat of that all over as well to soften the look of everything. I think these will be a really cute addition to a utensil jar in your kitchen. Obviously you can't use them, they're more of a decorative item that will be fun to display in your kitchen. So which is your favorite spoon? Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite and which mold you would use if you were making one for your kitchen. I'd love for you to like and share this video, and if you haven't already subscribed, I would appreciate your support doing that. Thank you for joining me today, and I really appreciate you being here. I hope you have a great week.